incur, or even a worse end. Who deaf to good advice neglects the warnings of a friend. If you today a gallant prince for your good lord should wed, adorned with zone of gold and gems, in land of Kusa bred, you would not, served with lots of friends, to Yama's realms have gone. When drums are beat and elephants' loud trumpetings reverberate in royal halls, where in this world can greater bliss be found? When horses neigh and musicians play to kings some sad song, with bliss like this in royal halls, what is there to compare? When two courts with the peacocks and the herons' cries reverberate, and cuckoos call, where else, I request, can bliss like this be found? After thus talking with her in all these stanzas, she thought, if only King Kusa were here today, he would put to flight these 7 kings, and after freeing my daughter from her misery he would carry her away with him. And she repeated the stanza. Where's he that crushes hostile realms and subdues his enemies? Kusa, the noble and the wise, would free us from our sufferings. Then Pabhavati thought, my mother's tongue is not equal to proclaiming the praises of Kusa. I will let her know that he has been living here, occupied with the work of a cook, and she repeated the stanza. The conqueror who crushes all his enemies, lo! Here is he. Kusa, so noble and so wise, all enemies will kill for me. Then her mother, thinking, she is terrified with the fear of death and babbles in her talk, spoke this stanza. Are you gone mad, or like a fool do speak at random thus? If Kusa has returned, why, please, did you not tell it us? Hearing this, Pabhavati thought, my mother does not believe me. She does not know he has returned and been living here 7 months. I will prove it to her. And taking her mother by the hand, she opened the window, and stretching on her hand and pointing to him, she repeated the stanza. Good mother, look at the cook, with loins belted up right well. He stoops to wash his pots and pans, where royal maidens dwell. Then Kusa, they say, thought, today my heart's desire will be fulfilled. Of a truth Pabhavati is terrified with the fear of death and will tell of my coming here. I will wash my dishes and put them away. And he fetched water and began to wash his dishes. Then her mother, admonishing her, spoke this stanza. Are you lowborn, or would you oblige, a maid of royal race, to take a slave for your true love, to madda's deep disgrace? Then Pabhavati thought, my mother, I think, does not know that it is for my sake he has been living here after this manner, and she spoke another stanza. No low caste I, nor would I shame my royal name, I swear. Good luck to you, no slave is he but King Okaka's heir. And now in praise of his fame she said. He 20,000 Brahmins ever feeds, no slave, I swear. It is Okaka's royal son whom you do see standing there. He 20,000 elephants sure yokes, no slave, I swear. It is Okaka's royal son whom you do see standing there. He 20,000 horses ever yokes, no slave, I swear. It is Okaka's royal son whom you do see standing there. He 20,000 chariots ever yokes, no slave, I swear. It is Okaka's royal son whom you do see standing there. He 20,000 royal bulls sure yokes, no slave, I swear. It is Okaka's royal son whom you do see standing there. He 20,000 royal cows sure milks, no slave, I swear. It is Okaka's royal son whom you do see standing there. Thus was the glory of the great being praised by her in 6 stanzas. Then her mother thought, she speaks very confidently. It must be so, and believing her she went and told the king the whole story. He came in great haste to Pabhavati and asked, is it true, what they say, that King Kusa has come? Yes, dear father. It is 7 months today that he has been acting as cook to your daughters. Not believing her he questioned the hunchback, and on hearing the facts of the case from her he rebuked his daughter and spoke this stanza. Like elephant as frog disguised. When this almighty prince came here, it was wrong of you and ill-advised to hide it from your parents dear. Thus did he rebuke his daughter and then went in haste to Kusa, and after the usual greetings and formal salutation, acknowledging his offense, he repeated the stanza. In that we failed to recognize your majesty in this disguise. If, sire, to you offense we gave, we would forgiveness humbly crave. On hearing this the great being thought, if I should speak harshly to him, his heart would straightway break. I will speak words of comfort to him. And standing amongst his dishes he spoke this stanza. For me to play the scullion's part was very wrong, I own. Be comforted, it was no fault of yours, I was unknown. The king, after being thus addressed in kindly words, climbed up to the palace and summoned Pabhavati, to send her to ask the king's pardon, and he spoke this stanza. Go, silly girl, your pardon from the great king Kusa crave. His anger appeased, he may be pleased perhaps your life to save. On hearing the words of her father, she went to him, accompanied by her sisters and her maidservants. Standing just as he was in his workman's dress, he saw her coming towards him and thought, today I will break down Pabhavati's pride and lay her low at my feet in the mud. And, pouring on the ground all the water he had brought there, he trampled on a space as big as a threshing floor, making it one mass of mud. She came near and fell at his feet and groveling in the mud asked his forgiveness. The master, to make the matter clear, spoke this stanza. The goddess like Pabhavati obeyed her father's word. With lowly head she clasped the feet of Kusa, mighty lord. Then she spoke these stanzas. My days and nights apart from you, O king, have passed away. See, I stoop to kiss your feet. From anger cease, I request. I promise you, if you to me a gracious ear should lend, never again in anything I do will I my lord offend. But if you should my prayer refuse, my father then will kill, and send his daughter, limb by limb, to warrior kings a prey. On hearing this the king thought, if I were to tell her, this is for you to see to, her heart would be broken. I will speak words of comfort to her, and he said, I'll do your asking, lady fair, as far as lies in me. No anger feel I in my heart. Fear not, Pabhavati. Listen, O royal maid, to me, I too make promise true. Never again will I offend in anything that I may do. Full many a sorrow I would bear, fair maid, for love of you. And kill a lot of madda chiefs to wed Pabhavati. Kusa, swelling with princely pride at seeing as it were a maidservant of Saka, king of heaven, in attendance upon him, thought, while I am still alive, shall others come and carry off my bride? And rousing himself, lion-like, in the palace yard, he said, let all who dwell in the city hear of my coming. And dancing about, shouting and clapping his hands, he cried, now will I take them alive, go ask them to put horses to my chariots, and he repeated the following stanza. Go, quickly yoke my well-trained horses to many a painted chariot, and watch me boldly swiftly move on, to scatter enemies afar. He now said goodbye to Pabhavati, saying, the capture of your enemies is my charge. Go you and bathe and adorn yourself and climb up to your palace. And the king of Madda sent his counselors to act as a guard of honor to him. And they brought a screen round about him at the door of the kitchen and provided barbers for him. And when his beard had been trimmed and his head shampooed and he was dressed in all his splendor and surrounded by his escort, he said, I will ascend to the palace, and looking about him from there in every direction he clapped his hands, and wheresoever he looked the earth trembled, and he cried out, now watch how great is my power. The master, to make the matter clear, uttered the following stanza. The ladies of King Madda's court saw him standing there, like rampant lion, as he hits with both his arms the air. Then the Madda king sent him an elephant that had been trained to stand impassive under attack, richly saddle-clothed. Kusa mounted on the back of the elephant with a white umbrella held over him and ordered Pabhavati to be conducted there. And seating her behind him he left the city by the east gate, escorted by a complete army of the four arms, and as soon as he saw the forces of the enemy, he cried, "I am King Kusa. Let all who value their lives lie down on their bellies," and he roared thrice with the roar of a lion and utterly crushed his enemies. The master, explaining the matter, said, "Mounted on back of elephant, the queen behind her lord, Kusa descending to the fight with voice of lion roared. All beasts, when Kusa's lion voice thus roaring loud they hear, and warrior kings flee from the field, overcome with panic fear. Lifeguardsmen, soldiers, horse and foot, with many a charioteer, at Kusa's voice break up and flee, all paralyzed with fear. Sakura right glad at heart looked on in forefront of the fight, and to King Kusa gave a gem, Varokana it was named. The battle won, King Kusa took the magic gem and then mounted on back of elephant looked for Madda's town again. The kings he takes alive and bound in chains with them he goes, and to his royal father cries, "See, my lord your enemies. Lo at your mercy now they lie, in battle wounded in pain. Adi our good will kill them all or set them free once more." The king said, "These enemies are rather yours than mine. They all belong to you. You only are our sovereign lord, to kill or to set free." Being thus spoken to, the great being thought, "What can I do with these men when once dead? Let not their coming here be without good result." Pabhavati has 7 younger sisters, daughters of King Madda. I will give them in marriage to these 7 princes, and he repeated the stanza. These daughters 7, like heavenly nymphs, are very fair to see. Give them, 1 each, to these 7 kings your sons-in-law to be. Then the king said, "Over us and them you are supreme your purpose to fulfill. Give them you are our sovereign lord according to your will." So he had them all beautifully dressed and gave them in marriage, 1 to each king. The master, to make the matter clear, spoke 5 stanzas. So Kusa of the lion voice King Madda's daughters gave, 1 maid to each of princes 7, fair maids to warriors brave. Delighted with the boon received from lordly Kusa's hand, these princes 7 returned again each one to his own land. Taking his magic jewel bright, back to Kusa-jataka, King Kusa, mighty hero, brought the fair Pabhavati. Riding together in 1 chariot, home came the royal pair, neither outshone the other, for they both alike were fair. Mother came on to meet her son. Husband from now on and wife in realms of peace and plenty lived and led a happy life. The master, ending his lesson, revealed the truths and identified the birth. At the end of the truths the backsliding brother was established in the fruition of the first path. At that time the father and mother were members of the royal household. The younger brother was Ananda, the humpback was Kusa-jataka, Pabhavati was the mother of Rahul, the group of attendants were Buddha's followers, King Kusa was I myself.